Okay, everybody, look on the screen. What's going on? This lady here, she is packing up the office. A lot of people, I don't know why. Sometimes it's like nobody listens to black women. Even black women don't listen to black women. So let me give you this unfortunate story time. Young lady, she worked for a company. It was a mortgage company, and it was started by two men. One was a black man, and basically what they were doing, they were getting people to refinance their homes. Okay, I get you to refinance your home. That was what they were doing. It was refinance the homes. And I was like, well, are they, what about buying, selling homes? Just like, no, they just pretty much want to get people to refinance their homes. So check this out. And this is what happens when you become male identified. Again, I don't know what the hell it is. Nobody wants to listen to black women, it seems a whole lot. Even black women don't listen. So long story short, um, what he did, what the black man did was he went and joined y'all a whole plethora of churches. Go to this church and join, that church and join. Oh, I travel a whole lot, which he did travel some, but it's pretty much for personal use, doing this church and that church. And he was making his rounds, and he had an inside thing where if they if a member refinance with them, they would say what church they go to, and then a preacher would get like, would get a kickback. I think it was like $250. So he was going to these churches, passing out cards and refinancing a whole lot of paper. And of course, he was lying, right? Because he did not explain all the details. And all they knew was the most, I think like 95% of the clients were black women. It was like that. And he just told them what they needed to know. Oh, I'll come by your house. You can come by the office. I'll come to you. And all they saw was a black man in a suit. And the mammoths got the signing and refinancing. And then there was some trouble. But before the trouble happened, which is why I have the picture on the screen here, there was a black woman that worked there. And she said, hey, I've been in the mortgage industry before. This right here it's like a predatory loan. And she's like, they're doing some things that are unscrupulous. I mean, it's like, for example, something crazy. You're not an attorney. It's like if you might make a phone call, they might put down a charge of $25 if you go over so many minutes. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. Where is this coming from? And they were building all this in. So then they had like this fee to get you to refinance your home. And it was like, look at the interest rate. Was this a fixed interest rate term? But I know when it comes to, especially to the managers, you can't tell them anything. They think you're trying to cause trouble. So long story short, the black woman that worked there, she saw what was going on, and she was like, She actually quit. She quit working there, and she was a single woman, no kids, but you need an income. She quit working there, and what she did was she started going around to the churches trying to warn the people not to sign those loans. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. She's like, I had to quit the job. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you know what happened, right? You're just trying to bring a black man down. Read. You're just trying to bring a black man down is what you do. You're just trying to cause trouble for him. You're just causing trouble. Or she becomes a bad girl. So someone that I knew quite well, her dumb mother signed the papers. And then it was a funny thing. How about, this is how I went out of business. I'm trying to understand, how about when they got the loans, some of the people didn't get all the money? You could pretty much max out with 80% of your home on equity. So how the heck did they tell you, okay, on yours, okay, let's say for example you get $30,000-$40,000, and you can use that money to get your house remodeled, get the kitchen that you want. But he was really selling it, y'all. He was selling it. Supposed to be $40,000 with a whole bunch of fees. But why is the check $27,000? Supposed to be 40. Well, how the hell 13,000 in fees come up? What the hell is this? What are you doing? I've got a home equity loan before. What the hell are you talking about? They go over all that with you. And it was like crazy. Some people, it was like $10,000. And it was like, it's not making any sense. Ergo, maybe the black woman that came and told y'all that she worked there, and they know that she did because they sit her in the office saying, do not sign a loan. She was trying to spread the word, but you know how that goes. And then she just went on her own. Oh, some people wanted to attack her. I heard you was having an affair with him. Even if she was, which I don't know that. Even if she was, read the paper. But no, nobody read anything. Guess what happened? Fast forward. The people pretty much ended up losing their homes. All of them that I know of, that I heard of, lost their homes. Because I'm like, it didn't make any sense. He was getting money off the top, getting a whole lot of money off the top of the loan. Okay, you didn't pay the loan, but then it was a second loan, and then the interest changed, and then it was sold, and they closed up shop. And I thought about it. That's why I keep, you try to tell people, look at what people do. Look at what people, and it can be a black woman too, but look at what people do. And I said, look at this right here. So this is how, what's that saying about the bourgeoisie? This is how you look at circumstance why black wealth will be at zero. And guess what? Sometimes it's due to the ones in the community, because you know what? The self-hatred is so strong, and we love to try to clam off of each other like something desperate, just scratching and scratching. And I thought about it, I said, wow, to think that that black man was going to those churches, knowing it was a bunch of shady, shit. He was in those churches, and I guess I'm sure singing with them and singing and swinging. And I said, look what happened to that black man. Look what he did. Look at those black women losing their homes. Oh, but they were warned about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I heard she's having an affair with him. She's trying to bring him down. Oh, you know how they do. You know how those kind do. They don't listen. How I found out, one girl was having some trouble, and I was like, well, she go stay with her mom. She's like, girl, we can't stay with mom. Why not? Lost the house. She lost the house when they did their refinance with so-and-so. A lot of people lost their homes. Pretty much everybody lost their homes. Because you had a first or second mortgage on it. So I'm like, was the interest rate fixed? It must have been an arm or something. Or was it at a low point and then change up? What was going on with it? And then some again, most of them didn't get all the money. He was getting thousands off the top. Getting thousands off the top. And I thought about it. If they just listened to that woman. And then you think about it, it's pretty much then too late. Oh, she also told the preacher. You think the preacher sounded the alarm? You wonder why the community looks the way it does. Besides a lack of information and discrimination and a broken infrastructure, we can't even get the family part right for most of the part. And it's about building. Then, looking up to these men to do something, and there are some doing something good, but you have the negative kind. It's so many of this right here. To do something, then look what happens. I said, look at all the black wealth that he just ruined. Look at all the black wealth he just ruined. Sit up in those folks' churches, singing and swinging with them, coming to their houses. Oh, they were having. She said her mother had him over for dinner. They liked him so much, they had him over for dinner. I was like, look, isn't that something? You are feeding your oppressor because he was a black man in a suit. You didn't think he was going to look like you. Feeding your oppressor. Had him over for dinner. Look up, her mama lost the house. He did well. Oh, yeah, he made a lot of money off that. But he did well, so he ended up getting out of all of that. He ended up getting his house ended up being paid for. But karma doesn't forget, and she sure as hell had his address, which I'm glad. All those black women lost their home. Lost their home. Generational wealth wiped out. One girl, she told me her mother worked two jobs over a decade to keep that home, a roof over their heads. 2 jobs. a full-time job, and then a part-time job. I'm talking about she's at work from 8 in the morning and getting home at 11 at night, 5 days a week. What the heck is that? 8 in the morning for the first job, and then she got a part-time job, and she gets home around 11 o'clock at night. 5 days a week for that house. And look, all for what for? You think he cared about those black women? Go ahead and delude yourself. See, these are the hard conversations that we don't want to have. The hard conversations that we don't want to have. The Brookings Institute, I already told you why the community look the way it does. It's the men, the majority of the men. And I've done videos on it. You find one with a business trying to do something, child, that'll be the one that gets got. He'll be the one that gets shot. You think that black man cared about those black women like that? But I know how the mammies are. Well, you don't know. Well, I know one thing that sure as hell sitting up home is that's what I do know. That's for darn sure in a darn apartment or staying with somebody. You think they care? Heck no. The video done already told you. What is it? They hate you. No. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But a lot of them feel that way. Who would do something like this here? You think he cared about them that had their black children there, knowing all along what's going to happen? Do you think he cared? You think so? You think he cared? He saw their black daughters, their black sons are in the home with them. You think he cared? He didn't. So if they had listened to that black woman, I said, wow, it could have stopped. The preacher, how come the preacher didn't sound along? All that those Negroes knew up in that pulpit, old pimping pulpit characters for some of them. All they knew was one thing: I'm getting $2.50 a pop. Oh, janky ass, excuse the expression. You think the preacher cared? The woman went to the churches and told the people, even told the pastors, and she was pretty much shunned. Oh, she ain't. And some were talking about her complexion, not that it matters, saying that old yellow gal. It doesn't matter. Yellow becoming our beautiful colors. Yellow, caramel, dark brown. The light on the screen is dark brown to me. Dark, but who cares? Oh, I bet she wanted them. Now I thought about that. I said, ain't the foolishness just continues. It gets stronger every day. Yellow gal. She seems professional. But see, that's what happens when you try to warn fools. We don't want to face that this kind of thing happens in the community. Remember those black women that were trying to start those businesses, and there was a black man that was on the council, and then they needed for him to go ahead and sign off on it, and he wouldn't sign off. They were putting their money in. It was a Blythe area anyway. Black women trying to build a community, wellness building a nursery, and he wouldn't sign off on it, and then they end up having to sell at a loss. Who stopped it? A black man, but we don't want to face that. We don't want to face that. Those kind of want to be the white man so bad. And I'll be glad when Karma catch up with your chocolatey ash. You know what I mean? I said, look at that. Generational wealth wiped out by one black man. Fast forward. Here's the part that I love about the reality of the story. So out of all that, he was able to, of course, get him a house paid for. You think? Think about it. If it's like $10,000. How he get that? Off the loan? Like I said, some people are supposed to be this amount of money. Okay, I understand fees and all that. But how you come from 4 to 27,000? Whoa, what's going on with that? Is this do you have a contractor gonna come and do some? What's that? That don't make any sense to me. That sounds like a loan shark. That sounds like the bank of loan shark. But fast forward, the beautiful thing about it, those women unfortunately lost their homes. Oh yeah, they listened to that black man. Okay. Guess what happened? He was able to get him a home out of the deal. The company did fold. He ended up having a house that was paid for. It's paid for, y'all. Paid for a house. For him and his family. He had to worry about retirement. House paid for. Off the backs of those women. Newsflash. Somebody sued him. This is way later, not related to that. Somebody sued him. And guess what he did? He took the title to the home and signed it over to a relative that he trusted. A whole house paid for. He took the title of the home because it was being sued. I don't know the details about that. I just heard it was being sued, so I can't say what it was for. But I know it wasn't about the business because that was way later. This was like years later. He took the title to the home and he signed it over to a relative that he trusted. Then once that issue, for somehow it dissolved itself, it went away. He then wanted his house back. How about the relative wouldn't give the house back? That he trusted. He signed the house over to him. He wanted the house back. The relative refused to sign, would not give him the house back. Oh, it gets deeper. The relative then had him evicted. Surprise. So what do you see? Karma really came. He is the reason one black man, think about his plan, going to all these churches and joining and introducing himself. Oh, he was busy. He was in church on every Sunday. All these churches on Sundays and visiting, lining the pastor's pockets, and coming in like a wolf, destroying the flock, taking away generational wealth. When that girl said her mother had worked, what? 2 jobs, keeping that house. And then to lose it and have to go to an apartment. Can you imagine? But all because of who? These are hard conversations we want to talk about. And the woman trying to go ahead and stop it. The one that's trying to warn them. They don't want to listen to her. Yellow gal. I said, well, that is this. Who give a darn what the complexion is? This is some ignorant behind people. You might deserve to be homeless. You were that foolish. But some folks are like that. I heard she was having an affair. I bet she must want him. I bet when those papers start to come to materialize and realize they're in trouble, the amount has changed. Well, he said, I mean, the darn thing is what's on that paper. But he said it's what's on the paper. A hard lesson to find out. So I said, wow, one black man did this. If you add up those houses, most people, you sitting up here, I mean, seriously, they had, he didn't come up just with no 20, 30 customers. Oh my goodness, business was booming. Look what one black man calls. You think you didn't see those young, like I said, some of them sitting up here, they've got sons and daughters. He saw those kids, he didn't care. He knew it was a sham. Preacher, you were told about it. What the preacher do? Nothing. Just selling you out. Another reason black was expected to be zero by 2050. Trust me, it won't take that long. These kind of behaviors. What they said? When they hate you and you hate you, you got a serious problem. So yeah, the woman quit her job, saw what was going on, took out of her personal time to go and try and warn them. Try to warn the people, try to warn them. Told her she quit the job. She's trying to make him look bad. And he just made y'all homeless. But we don't want to talk about that. No, we don't want to make him, you better face reality. I thought about it. I said, can you imagine? It's kind of like Madoff. You know, when he was in Palm Beach before he bought that house, he was staying at the Breakers. There was a couple, I don't know if they're still alive. He was staying at the Breakers. They thought Madoff was his friend. Oh, and they were worth $500 million, some kind of copier or something. He got them for $135 million. And before he bought that house in Palm Beach on that island, he was staying at the Breakers, and then they were like, "Oh no, you can come to our house and stay." And he was staying at their and it's something, living in, staying in their homes, visiting, staying. They got a mansion. They later on, even after that, they had downsized. Two old people staying in their home, sleeping in the room in your sheets, eating your food, drinking your liquor, and thinking you had a friend. And it happens. But see, this community, we don't have that luxury. And so when we sit up here, first of all, most of the men get money. A lot of them build for other communities. Let's be real about that. They can hear a black man with a program. What's the guy that has that program? I forget about it. With those kids doing real well. I haven't heard a rich black man yet try to come to him and offer some money to duplicate that process. Hicks, the kids can't even read in a lot of cases. But we cannot afford that. You have Negroes in high places. Just because somebody black doesn't mean Jack could be your worst enemy. Why? That person is there, looks like you. That's to do the dirty work. That's the one that starts to do the dirty work. You see a person, a white person beside a lot of white. That person, the same mindset. They'll get you too. Sometime might treat you worse. That's what they'll do the dirty work. I thought about that. Look at all homes just lost. Look at all those homes lost. All because of who? It's one black man. Oh, like I said, the beautiful thing about karma. Then he goes and he gets him a house and it's paid for. Oh, he think he's slick. He think he's a slick one. Gonna sign over to somebody that he really, really trusts. And they refuse to sign the house back over and he ended up getting out. That was his karma. See, he caused them to lose their homes. And look, he had one paid for and he lost his too. No sympathy. That was his karma. Again, another reason why black wealth will be zero, the hater rate in the community. Loving everybody else and hating yourself. If that ain't some stupid mess, I don't know what is. Anyway, gotta go. Let me know what you all think about that. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And you already know, I'm out.